Hey there, welcome to day 59 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1205. We hit 1200 after a win yesterday. And let's go ahead and just jump right into another game here. We're up against a 1251, so this is one of the highest rated opponents I've faced. I've faced a couple people that are higher though. And we got a Karo Khan set up. Let's see what type of Karo Khan he goes for. Okay, get the advance Karo. So that makes it pretty simple. Just bring the bishop straight out, connect this. Let me see. If he goes here, I don't have this. Okay, let's just. Yeah, actually, what happens if he goes there? No, I get it because it's hanging right now. I missed this the other day. It was in the London. I was white on the other side, but it was like the same thing but reversed. And he put the knight here to threaten the bishop, and I missed that he just hung the knight, and I didn't even take it. Let's just. Actually, I should have put the bishop here. Yeah, in the advanced variation, I think the bishop is better here. We remove the defender here, and then we potentially just trade it off. I think in this case, I'll probably just trade unless I want to move it here first. But we want to put pressure on the d4 pawn, so that's why it's normally good to go for this. Let's just trade, I guess, because I don't really want to move the bishop a second time and all that. And then let's, if I push right away, is this a problem? I think that is a problem. So maybe let's bring the queen out first to prevent this check once I push for c5. And I think I've been in this same type of position before, and I think that this actually isn't like the best move. I feel like this was a little bit worse, but I don't remember what was actually better than this. And to me, it makes sense. So that's what I'm going to go for. Okay, yeah, if he goes there, I guess maybe that's why, because he can hop here with tempo, putting more control on this square. But if he goes there, actually I can hop back to here, right? And then the knight has to jump back again, but then I lose my pressure on this pawn, but I still could play c5. So let's go ahead and play c5. I think that's fine. And he does have the check, but then I think if we trade... Oh wait, actually that is... If we trade, then he is threatening this. Oh yeah, so that actually is a little bit of an issue. Not a huge issue, but... I could also just play the knight here and block it, and then let the trade happen, open the rook up. I think I might prefer that, because if I take, he takes, he's threatening to come in here with the fork. I'm going to have to either play knight here or move the king over and prevent myself from castling. So I think I'd probably rather just develop the knight, keep the pressure on this pawn, and let him take. I think it makes sense to me. But let's see. And then now we have more flexibility. If we do take the trade, this fork is not as threatening. I can... Okay, he goes ahead and takes. I'm going to take like this. And then we still have some pressure on both these pawns here. And if he wants to take, I'm happy to develop my bishop out here. And then we want to probably Okay, so he's going ahead with threatening the fork, but I have two attackers on the pawn. He only has one defender. So if I move here, he has the check. Probably just move up. Knight's still under threat. In fact, the knight is trapped if he does that, I think. So I kind of like that, because then we have tempo on the knight, and then we probably can win this after. The other option, I guess, would be to play here or here. Maybe this is nice, actually, because my plan is to open this up. The only thing is it doesn't have tempo on the knight, so then he can just take and we'll trade it, and then it won't be opened up. So I think I like the move with tempo on the knight. So let's give that a try. And then I think the knight gets trapped if he does go for the check. Oh wait, he does have this check. I probably would just trade it because I think I would be able to win that pawn eventually. Okay, let's try this. Okay, he goes for defending. Yeah, I didn't consider him just defending the knight, but... Oh yeah, so then never mind, I can't take the pawn because he defends it. I mean, I can take it, but I can't win it. So in that case, I think I'll just develop this knight over here. Or maybe here and then here, because I don't want to block the bishop off. If he just takes like this, I'll just take back with the pawn, and then that should be okay. Okay, so let's go for this. I'll hop back to... I can't hop back to here because then he does have the fork. So I actually do need to go here, or I can go knight here. If knight here and he goes here, then I have the fork on him. Here, here, or no. Knight here, here. Here, yeah, I think that should be okay. I'm taking pressure off the pawn, but I don't really want to move the rook to here. It's just a very... Oh yeah, it's also it gets forked too. I was gonna say it's a passive square, but it also will be forked by the knight. So yeah, let's just go for this. But yeah, I didn't see that he had this move, and this knight is kind of a problem now because it really is restricting my rook quite a bit. So maybe I should have gone over to c8 to defend it, to defend the check, the fork square. But I thought he would hop away with the knight, and then I would be able to win the pawn, but that was overlooking this. So he could take, and I take. Doesn't have any fork or anything. Play here, I go there. He could castle. Okay, he just goes ahead and takes. So let's just take back. He goes for that check. And let's just go up. Get the king up. I mean, the queens are off the board. We can basically be going into an endgame. Oh, actually, I missed that check forks the pawn. So we are going to lose this pawn on the back here. So yeah, let's just... Oh wait, it also loses this one. It loses either one. If I go here, then he has the fork. Okay, yeah, that's kind of annoying. I didn't realize that this square was that much of a threat to so many different pieces. And then when he takes, he's gonna also have tempo on one of my rooks as well. He takes here, and I go back. He can just hop back, he's not trapped. And then when I move my knight, we do have a double attack on his knight. So you have to hop away again, I think. But if he takes this one, yeah, he goes for that one. That seems to make more sense. And, I mean, rook just needs to come here. And need to protect this pawn. So this pawn did become a weakness, which happens pretty often when you can't push it forward because it's blocked by the other pawn when they're doubled here. So I think I probably should cover it just with the rook. I can't cover it with the knight, which is what I would want to do. I could cover it with the king. Maybe I should just cover it with the king. Because the rook being here just doesn't seem very appealing to me. Because this pawn can't really move and the rook is just totally stuck. So let's cover it with the king. As long as there's no fork there. He has this check. And that doesn't fork this pawn because the bishop's covering it. But yeah, this knight, I need to get rid of the knight. It's really a bit of a problem here. Okay. We can go here, right? Then I want to finally get my knight free and my bishop free because my position is pretty crammed at the moment. Okay, so let's probably just go here, threatening to win his knight. If he takes this pawn, then I take, well, I'll just win a pawn. So he would take a pawn. If I go here, he takes a pawn, and then I could take the knight and win a pawn, I believe. If I kick the knight, he just takes that, so yeah, let's go here, and then if he takes here, then I just take back with the pawn that was under threat. And then he does have this fork, where he can force the dark square bishop off. But it's not like, I'm not going to lose material, so alright, I think I'm going to go for that. Oh wait, actually, if he takes that, it's with check. And then I go here. He needs to move. Actually, that's worse because it's with check, but I think after I go here, his knight is unprotected. And then once he moves his knight, there's a lot of squares he can move it to, though. Oh yeah, he can move it there with another check. No, he can't because I'll take with the pawn. Okay, I think I need to play this anyway. I don't know what else I would play. If I play this, he just takes that one. The position's looking pretty bad at the moment. Okay, let's just play that. And takes, I go over, and then I'm not sure where he'll hop to. Maybe he just hops back, and then I try to win this pawn. Or he just trades the bishop off. Oh wait, no, actually, after I move, then my knight is in trouble. So, no, but if he takes the bishop, then I take back with the rook. The rook's covering it, so I think it's okay. I don't know, it's kind of messy, and then I'm back to hanging this. Yeah, it's pretty bad position here, but let's see if it's possible to recover. I don't know. He's up +2. Okay, so take back here. This is covered, but he can take here. But if he takes there, at least I can take back on this pawn, and then I'm threatening to take that one as well and threatening the fork. So maybe, would he just trade it? I don't know. Probably not, because this knight is on such a good square, but I mean, he doesn't have a way to defend it again, so I am double attacking it with the king and the knight, so I guess he maybe needs to trade it. Or just take the pawn. If he takes the pawn, he's threatening the rook. If I go here, he takes, I get the fork. He moves here. Okay, he just trades it. So it's going to be pretty hard to come back with just rooks and him being up 2 pawns. And also these pawns are tripled, and it's pretty bad, I think. And this rook is pretty bad at the moment as well. Yeah, I don't have any way to defend these pawns. Any good way. So I could go here and attack this one. If he supports it, I take, he takes. Still not very good. I could play this if he takes, but then we just trade. If he takes, I'd just take back here. Maybe, and then I am supporting the 2 pawns that are remaining, so it kind of takes one of the weak pawns off. Or I could just activate the king right away. I think I want to go for this and maybe try to take the weak pawns off. Or one of the weak pawns up if he trades it. Because if he doesn't trade it, then I can take here. Alright. Go there. And I'll probably bring the king up this way. Maybe I'll try to trade the other weak pawn off by pushing this as well. Oh. Well, he kind of lets me just trade it then. I feel like this helps me a little bit. Trade the weaker pawn. I mean, yeah, there's no way this pawn becomes a pass pawn. I can't get rid of this one. So yeah, I think just trading this off. Then my rook opens up a little bit, and I can start trying to bring the king up. And maybe I can even get pressure both ways on this pawn. So let's take that. Oh no, I can't pressure this one here because this one guards it. The pawn guards this square. So I think I'll start with the king. If I go here, I can pretty easily defend it. If he pushes, then I get a pretty nice pass pawn. I feel like I think I will go here because it does put a little bit more pressure on his position, forces him to put a rook back like that. Seems appealing. Okay, he defends that. I want to move the king up here, but I don't know if I want it to be lined up with his rook. But unless he's threatening to take something, if he pushes and he's threatening to take, I need to take. He takes back with check, so maybe I don't like that very much. I think I should go here to maybe prevent this move. And then I can... He could come in here, though, which would be bad, actually. So let's push... There's no way to double attack this. Maybe I'll swing my rook down and try to bring it over here and double attack. I could go king up like this. He does have this check. No, he doesn't, because the pawn covers it. Never mind. Yeah, he wants the rook trade. I might not really have a good option. Yeah, I think I need to just trade it. And then come down here to protect this pawn. But it's going to get harder and harder the more stuff I trade off. If I go here, he takes... He's threatening to take over here. So yeah, there's no good option except for just trade. Yeah, I could... No, I can't push the pawn. I gotta just defend it. If I can get my king really active more than his, then maybe I could have a chance. I come up this way. Then he has a lot of potential checks. Alright, let's go here to immediately pressure this pawn at least. Yeah, he defends it and keeps pressure on my pawn. I think I want to just activate my king right away. And then maybe bring the pawns up right behind it. I gotta be careful of his passed pawn here. Okay, should I go here? If he pushes that, take, then I can go forward, I think. Okay, let's just try that. I think here, yeah, that one's check. If he goes here, I just take that. And then he takes, and then my king activates. So I think I can activate my king one way or another here. It seems like it. Okay, he's not trying to push anything. I think if I push this, I can open this up. I'll lose my pawns. We trade off both pawns and then my king gets active. He can come in to defend. Yeah, it does get a little bit hard to do anything with that though. I could push this one, take, but then it's, well, then these pawns are locked up. This one I can come in to attack. Here, here. I can't move after that. Here. His turn. come down, I come up. I think I prefer that, actually. I think this seems better, but I'm not totally sure. I think it gives me a better way to infiltrate, though, than pushing the G-pawn. Because if he takes, I take back. Then it's his turn, and if he tries to come in here, I can come in here. His king doesn't need to move. Like, I would say it's like I have opposition there. Oh, he comes in right away. Which might be a good idea. Take. Yeah, then his king gets a little more active. I really want to get my king in over here, but he's making it really hard. Maybe I should sack this pawn, because this pawn's never getting across the board. Maybe I should try to do something with the rook and sack the pawn. Or I can go take, rook here. That's protected. Push, take, no, push, take, rook over, try to bring the rook up this way and give him checks. But then his rook is going to pretty easily be able to support pushing this pawn, so I don't think that works. Let's probably just trade here. I don't like the look of it, but I don't really like the look of anything right now. And then maybe this. Or this. Okay, I think this to push the pawn. His rook can attack my pawn though. This one. Yeah, so that's what he goes for. So I can drop the king back, or I can immediately play this. I guess I can't play this because he has 3 defenders on it, not just 2. Take. Yeah, I guess I actually can't play that. Maybe rook just goes back. Rook back. He can't go here. I go king back. Yeah, I don't want to go king back. Let's just go here. I just have to try to somehow play for a draw. I mean, he obviously has a winning position, but if he made a major mistake, maybe we could get a draw out of it. I almost wish my king was on this side over here. Okay, I think he wants rook trade here. Might just go back to here and threaten his pawn again. He does have this check. Which, is that mate? Yeah, I think that's mate. Because all these squares are covered. But yeah, that's mate. I can't play that. I think I need to cover the mate. I think that's the only way. But then he can push the pawn. Then I come back to here. Okay, let's just play. I mean, I'm definitely going to lose, I think. So let's just try this. and then he attacks that, yeah, definitely it's going to be over here in a sec. So he's still maintaining the threat of mate. I can't really push this. I can't play anything. I could try to push this, but what's that going to lead to? Let's just try it though as a last resort. And then I'll probably resign here in a sec, because I can't push it right away. I can go here first. If he pushes this pawn, that's actually... Ooh, yeah, that's check. Okay, let's just try to cover this. I think he'll push the pawn with check. Oh no, because I could just take the pawn. Never mind. But I'm not really threatening to like get this pawn across the board and promote, because it's always going to be protected by this pawn. And now he's threatening the mate again. I have to go back. I'm not able to do anything. Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and resign. Because he's playing well and he has a nice advantage that I'm not going to be able to come back. Let's check the game review. It was just that early mistake that I made. Just that one early mistake. Letting his knight get into my position. There were no major blunders or anything, I don't think, right? Well, I did hang... I think I hung a pawn by accident, or I missed a fork on the pawn. That's what it was. It's taking a second to load. Let's refresh. Let's see if we can see this here. Oh yeah, so he played super well, 90.8% accuracy. So I'm not too upset with losing to that, because he was playing really well. I wasn't able to catch him in anything. And then I think it looks like I had one mistake here and a couple inaccuracies. So that's all it took to get in that pretty bad losing position. I think the mistake was allowing that knight fork, and then we can see what the inaccuracies were. Try to... Oh, here we go. Start review. All right. Let's go through the moves here. Oh yeah, I was thinking that I wanted the bishop here, but I forgot. I couldn't have developed it there because the knight wasn't here first, so it would have just hung. So that's the reason why I didn't put it there. I think afterwards I was thinking that I could have put it there, but I actually couldn't have. Unless I developed something else to protect that square first. So we get that trade. And then here, yeah, I remembered this correctly, that like this move is not that good. It's only a good move, but it prefers c5 right away. Why does it prefer c5 right away? Because I thought that if he checks here, he's double attacking the pawn that I just pushed, and he's attacking the pawn on b7 as well. So that seemed like a fork. Let's see though. So what am I missing? If he does that, I play here. But then can't he just win the pawn? Oh no. What am I talking about? Because it just hangs the queen. Okay, yeah. So never mind. So if he plays that, I can simply play here, trying to get the queen trade. If he takes, I'll probably just take back with the knight, keep it more active. And he can't take back. In my mind, I thought he could take back, but the queen is just completely hanging, so that doesn't work. I gotta remember that next time though, because I've played this same move with the queen out a couple times before, but it's not as good. Okay, it wants me to just go for the queen trade right away here. I think it doesn't like his active queen here from that trade earlier. Was there a better option to avoid the trade? No, I mean, the trade was best, but then the active queen does become a little bit of a threat, a little bit of an issue. It didn't like the check that much. Blocking with the knight was best instead of taking. Because if I took, he takes back, and then he's threatening the fork. I have to come up here with the king, and it's just not very appealing to do that. And then he still has maybe coming into this square, although he can't right away because the bishop and the queen are guarding. But yeah, that knight is what... I lost the game to the knight. The knight coming in and getting on d6 here on this outpost later when I wasn't protecting it, because I think I blocked my bishop in with the knight. I should have developed the knight over here, I think. onto the edge and then out to here. Because when I blocked the bishop in, I gave him this outpost later on. That really is what caused me to end up losing. Which I think happened... Okay, actually, let me see what it wanted me to do after the trade. The rook... Yeah, I didn't like the rook coming up. It says it's good, but it preferred the king actually coming here to defend against the fork. And keep the rook on the open file. But I did not play that, and then here was the mistake. So this is what lost me the game. This is all it took. It allowed him to come into here. He's threatening the pawn. He's threatening this pawn. Both of them are... It's a fork on 2 pawns and the king. And it just left my position under so much pressure for the rest of the game. That was good to block, because my rook was going to get trapped if I didn't block with the knight there. It was great to come up here. I mean, I didn't really have another... The only other option was going down, and then that was a fork, so I guess that's why it's great. Rook over. Let's see what his advantage is. It's plus 1.35, so it's not that bad, I guess, but it felt pretty bad. It felt really hard to play this position for me with his knight pressuring everything. The other knight came in. That was an inaccuracy. So it wants me to just accept that this pawn is... Or no, that this pawn is going to perish by going here. Oh yeah, this pawn too. I wasn't even paying attention to that one. But can't he just take this one? Rook back. He's back on the outpost. Okay, so yeah, really, it was just like blocking this bishop in that made such a huge difference in the game because it gave him the outpost. I can't allow him to get an outpost like that. I should have really developed the knight over to the side. Let me go back to that real quick and just see if I went here. What does that say? Oh wait, that's a mistake too? Because of this block. Maybe it didn't change that much. King here. Take the pawn. It wants him to give up his pawn there. He takes... Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so he had some crazy tactics maybe. I'm not sure what it was exactly. Why was that brilliant though? Because I'm not seeing anything from this. Takes this. Okay, I went quite a few moves ahead and I don't know why it was brilliant. I'm up a pawn at the end of that. Although he does have these 2 pawns pretty far across the board. Maybe he has a really strong potential of making a pass pawn there. So moving the knight either way was a mistake. I do want to focus on this because this was the kind of the defining move of the game that led me to end up losing. To end up in a really bad position with the knight pressuring everything. So was there anywhere I could put the knight? I guess not really. What did it want me to play? It just wanted the king forward. So it wanted the king to come in and protect both of these squares. The outpost and the checking square here. Before anything else. And then after the king comes up, it wants his king to come here. That seems kind of weird, but let's say he just castled instead. Then it wants this to try to activate the knight like that maybe. So what if at this point, now the king's covering, if I play the knight here. Now it's fine. It says best actually. That's inaccurate. So it was just getting the king out, not blocking the bishop, and allowing this really good square. That's all it came down to. I don't think there was any other major move throughout the rest of the game, but let's go through and see. There might have been a few more inaccuracies. That was an inaccuracy. It wants the knight here. So yeah, once again, it's just wanting me to give up pawns. I was really trying to fight to save the pawns, but it's saying just give them up basically. Because I think you just can't defend them all. There's so much pressure on them. That was only good. Taking back like that was good. Was trying to avoid trades, but he did a good job of forcing me to trade the rooks off. It really wants me to get my rook right here. I mean, I felt like I was putting more pressure by being on this pawn, but I guess This is a little bit stronger because it kind of helps to cut off the king from ever coming down. But he could still just try to trade it though, so it doesn't do that much. Because if he goes, if I go here and he just goes here. Oh, that's a mistake because I'm double attacking. I actually missed that I was even double attacking that. So that makes sense. That's the reason why we want to get it there, because we want to put double pressure on this. He goes forward. Then we're double pressuring this pawn, pushes that one. Then he's still able to get the trade though that he wants. I mean, he takes it, I take, and then I still end up on this good rank. But either way, he still has a +4 advantage. So yeah, it's losing pretty bad no matter what, just from those early problems that we ran into. And he forced the trade there. All of this was good. Okay, no, that one was inaccurate. It preferred sacking this pawn here. And, oh, yeah, sack it, but then I can take back. But then he can take the next one, so it is sacking a pawn. Oh no, that's a mistake, because then I can take another one. It's still +4 though for him. So it didn't make that big of a difference. That was inaccurate. Okay, I felt like this one was good, but it was on the assumption that he would like take it, I think. But he did the right thing probably by not taking it. Because I thought if he takes this, yeah, that's inaccurate for him. I take back. He comes in. I come in here. And then I almost have a way to get the king in if his king moves at all. I could get my king into his side of the board and try to attack his pawns, put a lot of pressure. So this is what I was really hoping for. But he can obviously just move something else. Although in this case, if he does move here, he's giving up this pawn. Is this mate? No, it's not mate because I have this square. If I take, is that a mistake? No, it's excellent. Then he gives the check. I come down. Advantage is still, it's +5. So no matter what, he only has a 1 pawn advantage, but it's +5 on the eval. We had to defend against the mate here, because if I had just gone for his pawn, then that's a mate in 1, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, nothing else really happened, and then I realized it was hopeless. He was defending everything perfectly, and there weren't many pieces on the board even to create an attack. It was just the rook, and then I was really hoping for a king infiltration up here, but it didn't work out because he didn't take the pawns when I wanted him to. So yeah, he played really well, and he brought me back down to 1198, so still almost 1200. I'm hoping to hang around at the 1200 area, not like lose too much elo back to the 1100s, but I mean, it's just a number. It doesn't matter too much, but it would be nice to be able to hang out at around 1200 or higher. And yeah, that was a pretty interesting game. I like playing against opponents that are really good like that because there's a lot more you can learn than if they're just blundering left and right. So I did enjoy that game. And this has been day 59. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on day 60.